Am I audible to everyone? मेरी आवाज आ रही सबको?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone please draw this diagram. Pin configuration of 8051. Fast. Everyone draw this figure. Pin description of 8051. Fast. 8051 is a 40 pin IC. There is a notch at the top. There is a notch at the top. From the notch towards the left, you will count from 1 to 20, and from below 21 to up 40. Okay, so total pins are 40. So this is a IC. Okay, the pins are not towards you, the pins are away from you. You are facing the portion where 8051 is written. When you hold this pin in this manner, you will be able to see the notch, and from the notch towards the left, 1 to 20 and 21 to 40. So please draw this first. Today we'll be talking about the pin description of 8051 in detail. We will see each pin. We will try to understand the function of each and every pin. Draw it fast. Remember, I will be checking your registers. Okay, once you come back to college. So don't cheat yourself. Draw this. Otherwise, अगर आपके पास अभी नहीं है तो draw in the rough, and then afterwards you fade it down. Today's lecture is important. You should understand now each and every pin. First, we have understood the block diagram of 8051. We have understood in detail. I have explained you everything in detail. I have gone slowly for the explanation. With those explanation, now we should be able to understand the pin configuration. Okay, so once we understand the pin configuration, you have understood the hardware as well as the software aspect of your 805. Then we can proceed further to understand the instructions used in 8051. Some of the instructions we have already studied in Keel software, in the practical labs, in the practical session. So you should be able to understand now pins, each and every pin. Shall we proceed? सबने ड्रॉ किया?
Sir, 1 minute.
हाँ ठीक है ठीक है. Take your time. Draw it properly. So yeah, this is purposely I'm asking you to draw the pin configuration, because once you have just written this pin configuration, then you will be able to know that pin 1 2 3, okay, how it goes. Left side में क्या है, right side में क्या है, bottom में क्या है, where is your VCC, where is your ground. Okay, then if you see carefully, you will be able to understand that there are some pins which are of dual function. दोनों दो काम करते हैं. If you see carefully, you will be able to understand some pins do dual functions. They have dual functions. Okay, so the alternate function is written in the bracket. Alternate functions are written in the bracket. हो गया सबका? यस. एलरिच ड्रॉ किया आपने?
नहीं सर, थोड़ा बात.
हाँ, जल्दी बनाओ. सोनिया देशमुख ड्रॉ किया? सोनिया इज देयर?
डन सर.
डन.
यस सर.
ओके. शाहिद गुल, आर यू देयर?
यस सर.
ड्रॉ किया?
यस सर, थोड़ा सा बाकी है सर.
थोड़ा सा बाकी है. ठीक है, ठीक है. You draw this while I start explaining you this. I'll be sharing this PPT. I think already I have shared this PPT in the classroom. You can go through this. Now एक काम करो, those who have written fine, those जिसने अब तक draw नहीं किया, do it afterwards. Keep your pen down. Today's lecture is important. I will be explaining you the pins of this. Okay, once it is understood properly, बाकी आगे की classes you will be able to understand. Okay, so don't draw now. Stop drawing this. Now listen. We are today will be talking about 8051. Now when you talk about this pin 8051, in the keel in the keel, while explaining you the programming in the keel, I have already told you there are different vendors, those who manufacture this 8051. Okay, even though these vendors manufacture 8051, but the pin configuration remains the same. ऐसा नहीं कि अगर फिलिप्स वाला बना रहा तो उसका पिन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन अलग रहेगा, एटमेल वाला बना रहा तो उसका पिन कॉन्फ़िगरेशन अलग रहेगा. ओके. Okay, so that is not the case. The pin configuration always remains the same. Now when you talk about this pin configuration, the first thing we should able to understand that is 8051 in uh, what is this 8051. This pin is all about, and it has a 40 pin IC. Okay, so when you talk about this, we should know important thing about 8051 before I proceed to the pin configuration. The first important thing is your 8051 requires plus 5 volt. It requires plus 5 volt. Okay, the power supply required is plus 5 volt. So whatever the IC you take, okay, the first important thing is कि वो कितने power supply पे चलता है. Okay, so when you talk about this 8051, it works on 5 volt power supply, and this is designed for 1 megahertz to 16 megahertz maximum clock frequency. So these are the ranges. Depending upon the requirement, you will be applying the clock frequency. Okay, so for timing, you just understand that 8051 works upon 1 megahertz to 16 megahertz clock frequency, and it requires plus 5 volt. It is a 40 pin IC. This 40 pin IC is DIP, dual in line package. Okay, DIP stands for dual in line package. DIP. Okay, so it is a 40 pin DIP. So you can just Google search, you will be able to understand different pin packages. Okay, उसमें से अगर हम लेते हैं तो this is a dual in line package. Okay, dual in line package. We will not go to the detail what is DIP, what is dual in line package, but try to understand this is a DIP 40 pin. Then the next thing is, when you talk about this 8051, this are the important aspects. Plus 5 volt. It might also happen that some vendor will provide more than 5 volt. Okay, it totally depends upon which vendor is manufacturing. Okay, but basically 99.99% we give plus 5 volt only. Okay, and depending upon the clock frequency, can I ask you one question? Depending upon what you will select the clock frequency, it or if I'm working on 1 megahertz, what is the difference? And what if I'm working on 16 megahertz, what is the difference? ये मेरे ख्याल से I have explained you this previously also while explaining you the clock signals. कोई मुझे बता सकता है when I'm talking? हाँ, yes, yes. Very good, very good. It is reciprocal. Okay, because your f is equals to 1 by t. So when your frequency is more, your time period is less. So if your frequency is more, your time period is less. And if your time period is less, what is the speed of execution of the instruction? Whether the speed will be more or the speed will be less?
More.
मोर. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. टाइम पीरियड देखो, टाइम पीरियड अगर कम है, इसका मतलब क्या है? टाइम पीरियड अगर कम है तो ये पास पास में आता है. टाइम पीरियड अगर ज्यादा है तो ऐसे दूर जाता है. टाइम पीरियड मीन्स ऑन टाइम ऑफ टाइम. तो your every instruction will be executed depending upon your clock period. अगर clock period ज्यादा है, see the on time and see the off time. On time plus on times gives you the time period. And see here, on time off time, it is lesser as compared with this. If this is T1, this is T2. So T1 may, can you see the execution, the speed will be more, the speed of execution of the instruction, speed of execution of the instruction of, or of the single instruction. Single bolo no problem, या program bolo no problem, because the group of instruction will form a program. तो आपका टाइम पीरियड अगर कम है तो स्पीड ज्यादा है. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, एफ ग्रेटर implies time lesser, implies speed more. Is it fine to everyone? Is it fine to everyone? The relationship between the frequency, time, and the speed of execution of the single instruction. Yes, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here, depending upon your requirement, will be giving the clock. You will be giving the clock frequency. अब ये clock frequency कहाँ पे दी जाती है वो हम सब आगे देखेंगे. Okay, so we will go one by one. So we will take first the simpler pins. Okay, simple pins हम पहले लेते हैं, which is easy to understand. Then we will proceed to the pins which are a little bit complex to understand. Actually, not, I should not say complex, but it should be, because of dual functions. Okay, I have to explain you both the function. So we will see the simple one. So already I have explained you for pin number 40. Pin number 40, that is VCC, should be connected to the plus 5 volt. Then the ground, we should be always grounded. Okay, we should be always grounded. There is one more pin, that is called as VSS, pin number pin number 20. Sometimes in some of the books they give ground, or in some of the books they give as VSS. VSS. Okay, so VSS रहने दो या फिर ground रहने दो, they should be always connected to ground. They should be always connected to ground. Okay, then can you see here pin number 18 and pin number 19? So when you talk about pin number 18 and pin number 19, see carefully what is pin number 18 and pin number 18. I want everyone to draw this along with me. Draw this along with me. 8051. Okay, you have this pin number EXTL2. So pin number 18 is here and pin number 19 is here. Okay, then it is connected with the capacitor with the specific value of 30 picofarad. 30 picofarad. This is also 30 picofarad. Okay, this is grounded, and here you have a crystal. Here you have a crystal, quartz crystal. This is the circuit diagram I was talking about. Okay, please draw this. Pin number 18, you know, this is extal 2. मैं यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ XTAL, extal 2. Pin number 19 is extal 1, XTAL 1, extal 1. Okay, now try to understand. I hope you have drawn this. Pin number 18. So pin number 18 अगर हम देखेंगे, if you see here, this is pin number 18, which is extal 2. Extal stands for crystal. Extal stands for crystal. So there are two pins dedicated to connect your crystal or quartz. That is pin number 18, that is crystal 2, and pin number 19, that is crystal 1. 1 and 2 doesn't mean there we are applying two crystals. Okay, it only implies that these are the two dedicated pins where you connect your crystal. Okay, where you connect your crystal. So can you see the crystal is this? This is a crystal. मैंने जो अभी बनाया था ये, this is a crystal. And to support this frequency, okay, we have to connect two capacitor of 30 picofarad. Okay, this is external to 8051. ये हमको अलग से लगाना पड़ता है. Okay, अलग से लगाना पड़ता है. Okay, so pin number 18 and 19 connected in this manner. Okay, now whenever you are connecting your 30 picofarad of two capacitor, and the common is grounded, now see here, this is important. When you talk about this pin number 18, whenever you talk about this pin number 18, the output of the crystal oscillator circuit is connected. The output of the crystal oscillator, so आपका ये जो crystal oscillator है, that is connected at pin number 18 and pin number 19. Now when you talk about this 30 picofarad, when you talk about this 30 picofarad, this 30 picofarad capacitor is recommended when you have to connect 12 megahertz, 12 megahertz of crystal. Okay, when you are using the crystal of 12 megahertz, that time 30 picofarad is recommended. So this 30 picofarad is taken only when you are having the crystal of 12 megahertz. Okay, now when you talk about this crystal, and whenever you want that 8051 को हमको 12 megahertz देना है, so when I was talking about clock frequency, when I talk about the clock frequency, the range is 1 megahertz to 12 megahertz to 12 megahertz. Okay, so when I want to connect, when I want to give 12 megahertz of clock frequency, this is a setup. This is a setup. Okay, this is a setup. So what is the setup? You have to connect the crystal quartz of 12 megahertz with 30 picofarad of two capacitor connected in this manner as shown in the figure, and pin number and 19 and 18 should be connected with the crystal oscillator in this manner. Then only your 8051 will be having a clock frequency of 12 megahertz. Now sometimes if I do not have to connect this particular setup, ये जो सर्किट डायग्राम है जहाँ पे मुझे दो 30 पिको फेरेट्स के लगाना है, इन दैट केस you have an option that external clock can be directly connected. Then when you are connecting your external clock directly, that time, see the change all of you. that time that time your pin number 19, पिन नंबर 19, यानी इसका मतलब ये बाहर का, ये बाहर की चीजें नहीं रहेंगी. अगर मुझे एक्सटर्नल क्लॉक लगाना है, in that case your external clock will be directly connected will be directly connected to pin number 18, will be directly connected to pin number 18, and in that case pin number 19, which is external one, will be grounded. It will be grounded. So your clock frequency will be directly given at pin number 18, and this clock frequency is of 12 megahertz. It will be of 12 megahertz. Okay, so if I'm not interested with the crystal quartz, if I do not want to connect 30 picofarad, then directly external clock लगा लो 12 megahertz का to pin number 18, और pin number 19 directly ground कर दो. In that case you will be giving clock frequency of 12 megahertz. In other cases, if I have to give the range from 1 megahertz to 12 megahertz, the same thing will be applied. Give the clock pulse, external clock pulse to pin number 18, and pin number 19 will be grounded. So 1 megahertz to 12 megahertz clock frequency will be given at pin number 18. I hope you have understood pin number 18 and 19. You have understood pin number 18 and 19. Any question? Any question? Pin number 18 and 19. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So we have done with pin number 18, 19, 20, and 40. Okay. Then we will proceed towards RST pin. We will proceed towards RST pin. RST pin का है वो यहाँ पे है. Pin number 9. RST stands for reset. RST stands for reset. So for this reset, you can draw in the same figure. अगर नहीं है same figure, you can draw in the next figure. You can draw in the next figure the reset pin. The reset pin. So this is your 8051. See here, your RST pin, your ground pin, and your VCC pin. तो VCC आपने +5 वोल्ट को लगा दिया, and then there is one more externally connected capacitor of 10 microfarad capacitor. Then it is connected to RST pin, and then you have a resistor, and then VSS, and then ground. This resistor is of 8.2 kilo ohm. 8.2 kilo ohm. Okay, so this is your RST. Now what is the function of this RST? Whenever you want to reset your microcontroller, whenever you want to reset your microcontroller, you know the reset means what? Reset means, it means whenever I reset, let me give an example. Whenever I reset, your stack pointer will be reset to the value dash. Your stack pointer will reset or will be initialized to the value of
0, sir.
वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. तो आपके जैसे एस एफ आर्स के जो इनिशियल वैल्यू है, ओके, मैंने बताया था आपको, आपको याद रखना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपका प्रोग्राम काउंटर 0 पे रीसेट हो जाता है, आपका एक्यूमुलेटर 0 पे रीसेट हो जाता है, आपका स्टैक पॉइंटर 07 पे रीसेट होता है. ओके, देन योर पोर्ट, आपका P0 से लेके P3 विल बी रीसेट टू FFH, will be reset to FFH. Okay, so these reset values you should be able to understand. Okay, जैसे stack pointer will be reset to 07H, वैसे आपका पोर्ट जो रहता है P0 से लेके P3 will be reset to FF. So if ever I have to reset my 8051, this is the circuit or which has to be connected externally. Now ये जो मैंने दिया आपको वैल्यू दी है 8.2, 10 microfarad, these are the values which will be always given by the vendor. So whenever you buy the 8051 IC from the market, Okay, you have to see who is the manufacturer, and then you have to search for the data sheet. Google search करना पड़ता है, and in the data sheet everything will be mentioned कि अगर आपको रिसेट करना है तो आपका रजिस्टर की वैल्यू कितनी होनी चाहिए. यहाँ पे मैंने 8.2 लिया है, लेकिन डिपेंडिंग अपॉन इट विल हैव द डिफरेंट वैल्यू डिपेंडिंग अपॉन वेंडर टू वेंडर. यहाँ पे 10 माइक्रोफैरेड लिया मैंने, सम वेंडर में वी गिव यू सम अदर वैल्यू. तो अगर मुझे 805 को रिसेट करना है, दिस इज अ सेटअप, एंड यू हैव अंडरस्टूड द रिसेट इज व्हाट. ओके, सो वेन एवर यू रिसेट द स्पेशल फंक्शन रजिस्टर्स and few CPU registers must be initialized before the microcontroller can operate properly. Okay, तो जब कभी हमको 8051 को यूज करना है, इट्स बेटर यू रिसेट योर 8051 so that your special function registers and your some registers will have some default initialization value. For example, as P07 and P0 to P3 FFH. Is it clear to everyone about the reset pin? Is it clear to everyone for reset pin? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we have done with reset pin also, that is pin number 9. We will move forward to understand the remaining pins. We will see about the port 0. P-O-R-T 0. Whenever you talk about port 0, whenever you talk about port 0, you have to see on the top right hand side. You have to see on the top right hand side. You know each port is of 8 bit. Okay, so the 8 bits are P 0.0 pin number 39, P 0.1 pin number 38, P 0.2 pin number 37, P 0.3 36, P 0.4 35, P 0.5 34, P 0.6 33, and P 0.7 32. So total 8 pins. P 0.0 से लेके P 0.7. And these port 0 is not doing the single function, but it also has to do other function. The other functions are written in the bracket. It is AD0 to AD7. It is AD0 to AD7. किसी को पता है AD0 to AD0 AD1 क्या है? ओके, ठीक है, आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू. मैंने आपको ये नहीं पता है व्हाट इज AD0 टू AD7, बट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज दिस AD0 टू AD7. ओके, तो मैंने अब तक बताया आपको कि पोर्ट 0 पिन है, विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम पिन नंबर 32 to pin number 39. Port 0 is of 8 bit, so each bit is given by P0.0 to P0.7. The second feature of port 0 is it is bidirectional. Remember, this is bidirectional. What do you mean by bidirectional? What do you mean by bidirectional? Bi means though, directional.
It accepts an input and also produces an output.
Yes, yes. Bidirectional का मतलब होता है 805 के विल बी टेकन एज एन इनपुट, 8051 में इनपुट बोल के जाएगा, या फिर 8051 से आउटपुट बोल के जाएगा. ओके, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ बायडायरेक्शनल. यूनिडायरेक्शनल में बोलेंगे तो एक ही डायरेक्शन में डेटा फ्लो होगा. ओके, सो दिस इज योर पोर्ट 0. पोर्ट 0 इज योर आईओ पोर्ट, इनपुट आउटपुट पोर्ट, इनपुट आउटपुट पोर्ट. ओके, तो इनपुट बोल के आएगा एंड आउटपुट बोल के भी काम करेगा, तो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज बाय डायरेक्शनल. ओके, so whenever I want to send the data, it will be sent through whenever it will be whenever I will be sending the data from port 0, it will be sent from pin number 32 to pin number 39. Now whenever I am using this as a data, listen here carefully, now this is important. Whenever I am using this for transmitting or receiving the data, parallel transmission and reception, in that case, you have to say that these ports are used as for data transmission, or as well as reception of the data. When I'm transmitting, it will be output port. Whenever I'm receiving, it will be input port. Now in that case, this particular ports will be called as D0 to D7. It will be called as D0 to D7, because the data is getting transferred, because the data is getting transferred. because the data is getting transferred. But यहाँ पे आपका data is attached, or it is associated with the address also. It is associated with the address also. My question is, as far as 8051 is concerned, how many address pins are, or how many address bits are there? Total address bits. How many address bits are there? और your address bus का size कितना होता है?
16.
16. Yes, 16. So can I say 16 means A0 से लेके A15. A0 से लेके A15. A0 से लेके A15. My next question, what is the size of data bus for 8051? What is the size of data bus for 8051? Size of data bus. डेटा कितना कैरी कर सकता है? डेटा बस की साइज कितनी है 8051 की? यस, 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 स्पीक आउट. यू मे बी राइट, यू मे बी रॉन्ग, बट बोलो.
8.
8 बिट बराबर है, 8 बिट. डोंट फॉरगेट, दिस इज द फीचर्स ऑफ 8051 जो सबसे पहले मैंने बताया था. एड्रेस है 16 बिट और डेटा है 8 बिट. सो डेटा 8 बिट मीन्स D0 से लेके D7. लेकिन A0, A1, डॉट 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 A7. So A0 and D0 are multiplexed. A1 and D1 are multiplexed. Dot 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 DA7 and D7 are multiplexed. मल्टीप्लेक्स बोले तो दोनों साथ साथ में रहते हैं. दोनों साथ साथ में रहते. ओके, सो कैन आई से A0 D0 is nothing but AD0? Can I say A1 D1 is nothing but AD1? Dot dot dot, can I say A7 D7 is nothing but AD7? So can you see here AD0 से लेके AD7, AD0 से लेके AD7. That means lower 8 bits, lower 8 bits are multiplexed. It means lower 8 bit are multiplexed with address as well as data, as well as are multiplexed with address and data. Higher 8 bits are not multiplexed. They are purely higher address bus, starting from A8 to A15. Starting from A8 to A15. Again, I'm repeating, this is important. Your address and data are multiplexed. So lower 8 bit of data, lower 8 bit are multiplexed, address and data, and higher 8 bit, that is A8 to A15, are not multiplexed, because you have a data of 8 bit and you have address of 16 bit. I hope you have understood this. I hope you have understood this. Shall I repeat again? Shall I repeat again?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. बिकॉज मैंने बहुत आराम से लिया है. आई नो ये आपको सबको सबके दिमाग में गया होगा. ओके, सो योर लोअर एड्रेस इज मल्टीप्लेक्स्ड, योर हायर एड्रेस इज नॉट मल्टीप्लेक्स्ड. यू हैव टोटल 16 bit of address A0 to A0 to A15. Out of these, lower 8 bit are multiplexed with the data bus or data bits, that is D0 to D7. Okay, now with this understanding we will see how to demultiplex. अब मल्टीप्लेक्स बोले तो दोनों साथ में, डीमल्टीप्लेक्स बोले तो दोनों को अलग अलग करना है. We will see how do you demultiplex your address from the data or from data from the address. That is called as a demultiplex. So that thing we are going to see. तो मुझे सिर्फ इतना बताना था आपको कि port 0 has the dual function. Dual function is what? It carries the address as well as data bus. Now my question is, if it carries the data bus, this port works as an input port or output port or both? Your answer. Again I'm repeating, if your port 0 is doing the dual function of data transfer as well as address. If it is purely used for a data transfer, then in that case port 0 can be used as an input port, or it can be used as an output port, or both, और बोथ.
Both.
हाँ, यस यस बोथ. क्योंकि आपका डेटा अंदर भी जा सकता है 8051 में, या फिर आपका डेटा बाहर भी जा सकता है अवे फ्रॉम 8051. On the same line, if I ask you, if your port is working as an address bus, आपको पता है एट अ टाइम एड्रेस बस जैसा काम करेगा या फिर डेटा बस, बट लेकिन इफ इट इज यूजिंग एज अ एड्रेस बस, इन दैट केस whether it works or whether it works as an input port or output port.
Output.
वेरी गुड. क्योंकि आपको पता है, मैंने जब वॉन न्यूमन आर्किटेक्चर, हार्वर्ड आर्किटेक्चर बताया था, तब मैंने बताया था एड्रेस बस विल बी ऑलवेज टुवर्ड्स द रैम और टुवर्ड्स द रोम. एड्रेस बस का 8051 में कुछ काम नहीं है, इट विल बी ऑलवेज अवे फ्रॉम 8051. क्योंकि हमको एड्रेस बस यूज करके हमको एड्रेस लोकेशन चाहिए, जिस लोकेशन से मुझे डेटा लेना है, या फिर जिस लोकेशन से मुझे इंस्ट्रक्शन कोड लेना है. Okay, so always your address bus will be used as an output port, but your data bus can be used as an input or as well as output. That is why it is called as a bidirectional. Port 0 is called as a bidirectional. Port 0 is called as a bidirectional. Now my last question, if I'm using my port 0, can I use my port 0 as an address as well as data at the same time, or one at a time? Can I use my port 0 as an address and data bus at the same time, or one at a time?
So same time.
Same time. How come same time?
Sir, 805 is Harvard architecture.
It is a hardware architecture, so I can use my address bus and data bus at the same time. Hmm, something more on this? अच्छा ठीक है, मुझे एक बात बताओ, मुझे अगर डेटा एक्सेस करना है रैम से, लिसन केयरफुली, अगर मुझे डेटा एक्सेस करना है रैम से, ओके, in that case you will be using first address bus or you will be using first data bus? मुझे रैम लोकेशन, एक्सटर्नल रैम लोकेशन से एक डेटा एक्सेस करना है, ओके, तो क्या मैं पहले एड्रेस बस यूज करूंगा, या फिर मैं पहले डेटा बस यूज करूंगा?
Address bus.
हाँ, क्योंकि मुझे पता होना चाहिए कि कौन सी जगह से मुझे वो डेटा एक्सेस करना है, बराबर है, तो पहले मैं एड्रेस बस बोल के यूज करूंगा. जब मैं एड्रेस बस बोल के यूज करूंगा, आई विल आइडेंटिफाई द लोकेशन and then I will access that data, and then I'll be moving that data from the RAM towards the 8051 by using the data bus. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. इसका मतलब एड्रेस बस, अगर मैं पोर्ट 0 एड्रेस बस बोल के यूज कर रहा हूँ, yes, it is understood कि port 0 is having dual function. It can be used as address bus as well as a data bus, okay, but first it will be used as an address का काम होने के बाद it will be used as a data bus. I hope you have understood this. I hope you have understood this.
Yes.
Yes. दोनों एट अ टाइम नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि इसका दोनों एट अ टाइम का क्या मतलब होता है कि उसमें से एड्रेस भी जा रहा है और उसमें से डेटा भी जा रहा है, ऐसा नहीं होता है. पहले एड्रेस बाद में डेटा, पहले एड्रेस बाद में डेटा, सो वन एट अ टाइम. क्लियर टू एवरीवन? क्लियर टू एवरीवन? इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन?
Yes, sir.
ओके, सो वी हैव डन विद द पोर्ट 0. तो पोर्ट 0 में हमने पिन नंबर 32 से लेके 39 कवर कर दिए. ओके, वी हैव कवर्ड. नेक्स्ट पोर्ट 2. Whenever you want to see the port 2, you have to see at the bottom right hand side. So port 2 is from pin number 21 to pin number 27. Port 2 is from pin number 21 to pin number 28. The port pins are P 2.0, 2.1, 2.2, dot 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 P 2.7. Okay. Now these port 2 are not having dual function. They are not having dual function. They are dedicated as a higher 8 bit of address. They are dedicated for higher 8 bit of address. Okay. So when you talk about the port 2, okay, port 2, it is only unidirectional, or you say quasi bidirectional. Okay. Whenever you talk about this uh, port 2, whenever you talk about this port 2, this is a dedicated for higher address A8 to A15, A8 to A15. Okay, A8 to A15. So whenever you want to access any location with the address from A0 to A15, then you will be using port 0 also, and you will be using port 2 also. You will be using port 2 also. तभी जाके A0 से लेके A15 आप यूज कर पाओगे. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? Could you please repeat? Yes. Whenever you are accessing, for example, if you are accessing your external ROM, tell me the maximum size of external ROM which you can access. जो हमने ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं, बताओ. 2 raised to 16 is equals to, very good, 64K. To access your 64K, you have to use all the 16 bit of address, that is A0 to A15. So A0 to A15 कहाँ पे मिलेंगे? यहाँ पे पोर्ट 0 भी यूज करना पड़ेगा, तो लोअर 8 बिट A0 टू A7 यहाँ पे मिलेगा, और हायर 8 बिट A8 टू A15 यहाँ पे मिलेगा. So in that case, I will be able to access all your 64K kilobytes of external ROM. The starting address is from 0000H and the ending address is FFFFH. So मैंने बताया था 0000H का मतलब है ये 0 1 2 3 4, ये 0 1 2 3 4, ये 0 1 2 3 4, ये 0 1 2 3 4. ये जो टोटल है 0, ये जो टोटल दिख रहा है आपको, ये टोटल कितने हैं? टोटल कितने हैं? 16. यस. और ये 16 जो है, ये जो 16 है वो क्या है? वो है A0, A1, A2, A3, डॉट 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 A15. A0 A से लेके A3 मीन्स सिंगल जीरो. A4 से लेके 5 6 7, this is 0. Then A8 to 8 9 10 11 12, 12, this is 0. Then A13 to A15, that is this 0. So this is 000H. And when this becomes 1, this becomes 1, this becomes 1, and this becomes 1. Okay, that means all 1. I should not say see 1 का मतलब क्या है? ये 1 1 1 1. So I should say here F 1 1 1 1. I should say this F 1 1 1 1. I should say this F, and this also 1 1 1 1. I should say this as F. So you go from 000H to FFFH. समझा अभी? अभी समझा?
Yes, sir.
यस. तो हम जो वो हेक्साडेसिमल में लिखते हैं और जब उसको बीट में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, ओके, तो ईच बीट इज नथिंग बट A0 से लेके A15, A0 से लेके A15। ओके, तो अगर हमको एक्सटर्नल रोम को एक्सेस करना है तो हमको पूरा एड्रेस बिट यूज करना है, A0 से लेके A15। वो केस में पोर्ट 0 भी हमको यूज करना है और पोर्ट 2 भी हमको यूज करना है। आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस। आई होप एवरीवन हैज अंडरस्टूड दिस। Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have done with port 2 also. We will proceed for port 3. If you want to see port 3, you have to see bottom left. Port 3 starts from pin number 10 to pin number 17. Pin number 10 to pin number 17. So P3.0 से लेके P3.7. This port 3, this port 3 is having an alternate function. Okay, this port 3 is having an alternate function. Okay, the alternate function are rxd, txd, int0, int1, t0, t1, wr bar, rd bar। ओके, ये आपको सब याद रखना है, ये सब आपको याद रखना है। ओके, सो दिस पोर्ट 3 इज नॉट यूज एज एन इनपुट एंड आउटपुट पोर्ट। हाँ, और एक बात है, ये मैं जब पोर्ट 2 की बात कर रहा हूँ, ओके, पोर्ट 2 की जब मैं बात करता हूँ, सो दिस इज अल्टरनेट। सी हियर व्हाट आई वांट टू से दैट पोर्ट का मतलब आपको पता है कि डेटा ट्रांसफर होता है। whenever whenever you have to transmit the 8 bit of data, by default it will be through port 0. But if I want to transmit 8 bit of data from port 0, the other 8 bit from port 2, the other 8 bit from port 3, and other 8 bit from port 1, okay, then it is possible. Okay, then it is possible. Now here when I'm talking about port 2, you can transmit or receive the data from port 2, but other than that it also has the function of higher order address bits, higher order address bits। तो अगर ये पोर्ट 0 में मेरा एड्रेस बिट्स के जैसे मैंने काम नहीं कर रहा हूँ, तो दिस कैन बी यूज एज एन इनपुट आउटपुट पोर्ट, जहाँ पे डेटा इनपुट या फिर आउटपुट हम कर सकते हैं। सिमिलरली व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट पोर्ट 3, यहाँ पे भी हम डेटा आउटपुट या इनपुट कर सकते हैं। अलॉन्ग विद दैट the alternate function is this rxd, txd, int0, int1, t0, t1, wr bar, rd bar। Okay, so what are these alternate function? Okay, the alternate function is, let me take an example, so where the alternate function is, see the port pin number 10, pin number 10, आपको पता है सीरियल ट्रांसमिट भी कर सकता हूं मैं 8051 से। अगर मुझे सीरियल ट्रांसमिट करना है या फिर रिसीव करना है, यू कैन यूज पिन नंबर 10 फॉर serial reception of the data। if I want to transmit the data serially, I can use pin number 11, I can use pin number 11। आपको पता है RxD receive data serially पिन नंबर 10, ट्रांसमिट डेटा सीरियली पिन नंबर 11। समझ में आया पिन नंबर 10 एंड 11 का अल्टरनेट फंक्शन? एवरीवन, एवरीवन, if you
Yes, sir.
if you have question please ask, don't be numb। सो अल्टरनेट फंक्शन हमने देख लिया RxD और TXD। कम टू INT0, INT1, tell me how many external interrupts your 8051 can handle?
5.
External interrupts
2.
two, two external, three internal interrupts, software interrupts collectively gives you 5 interrupts। मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था external interrupt। So your external interrupts are INT0 bar and INT1 bar। So these are the two external interrupts। This is called as external interrupt, ये हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे बाद में। ओके, एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट 0 और इसको हम कहते हैं एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट 1। सो दीज आर द टू एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट्स। सो दिस टू एक्सटर्नल इंटरप्ट्स कहाँ पे है? पिन नंबर 12 पे है और पिन नंबर 13 पे। पिन नंबर 12 पे है और पिन नंबर 13 पे। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? इज ओके। नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, हाउ मेनी टाइमर्स आर देयर इन 8051? टाइमर बोलो या फिर काउंटर बोलो? दो, बराबर है, दो है। तो एक टाइमर will be at pin number 14, that is called as T0, and the other timer, that is timer 1, is at pin number 15. Okay, so these two timers T0 and T1, T0 and T1, T0 is called as timer slash counter. मैंने बताया था, it can be work as a timer if I have to give the timing to the external peripheral devices, or it can be used as a counter when I have to count the external event. Okay, अगर काउंटर बोलेंगे तो इट विल बी टूवर्ड्स 8051, अगर हम टाइमर बोल के यूज कर रहे हैं तो इट विल बी यूज एज एन आउटपुट। तो ये आपका जो सपोज 8051 है, अगर T0 को मैं काउंटर यूज कर रहा हूँ तो इनपुट इट विल बी वर्क एज ए इनपुट, क्योंकि मुझे एक्सटर्नल काउंट को काउंट करना है। और वही अगर मैं आउटपुट दे रहा हूँ एज अ टाइमर टू द पेरिफेरल डिवाइसेस, देन इट विल बी यूज एज अ आउटपुट। तो टाइमर में यहाँ पे यूज करूँगा। ओके, सो टाइमर या काउंटर जीरो, टाइमर स्लैश काउंटर जीरो, एक्सटर्नल इनपुट, एक्सटर्नल इनपुट, इनपुट बोलो या फिर आउटपुट बोलो, बिकॉज अगर टाइमर है तो इनपुट, काउंटर सॉरी टाइमर है तो आउटपुट, काउंटर है तो इनपुट, एंड सिमिलरली दिस इज टाइमर स्लैश काउंटर एक्सटर्नल इनपुट। टाइमर और काउंटर वन, टाइमर स्लैश काउंटर वन एक्सटर्नल इनपुट या फिर आउटपुट। इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? पिन नंबर 12 for 14 and pin number 15 is clear to everyone? Yes or no? Yes or
Yes, sir.
yes? Okay, so pin number 14 and 15। हाँ, ये भी याद रखना, अगर मैं बोलूंगा P3.4 क्या है, P3.5 क्या है, so you should know this by heart। तो अब you have to mark up this। Okay, then comes pin number 16, the alternate function is WR bar, WR bar। So if I want to write down the data into the external memory or external data memory, in that case your WR bar pin will be low, and if I want to read from the external memory, then your RD bar pin should be 0। इसका क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब ये है, इसका मतलब ये है, सपोज मुझे एक्सटर्नल रैम में डेटा लिखना है, आई वॉन्ट टू राइट इन टू द एक्सटर्नल RAM। In that case, this pin number 16 should be grounded because it is active low, WR bar active low। अगर ये grounded है, इसका मतलब मैं एक्सटर्नल रैम में लिख रहा हूँ। ओके, अगर ऐसा, इन दैट केस योर RD बार शुड बी कनेक्टेड टू VCC प्लस 5 वोल्ट, प्लस 5 वोल्ट, बिकॉज RD बार इज एक्टिव लो। RD बार अगर आपने प्लस 5 वोल्ट को लगाया और WR बार को आपने ग्राउंड किया, इसका मतलब मैं एक्सटर्नल रैम में लिख रहा हूँ, लेकिन मुझे एक्सटर्नल रैम से अगर रीड करना है तो ये उल्टा हो जाएगा। इन दैट केस योर RD बार विल बी ग्राउंडेड एंड योर WR बार विल बी connected to plus 5 volt। I hope you have understood this। Any question for WR bar and RD bar? Any question for that? Any query? आपको समझा पिन नंबर 16 एंड 17?
Yes, sir.
ओके, मुझे बात बताओ, whether it is possible for whether is it possible that your pin number 16 is ground as well as 17 is also ground? ऐसा हो सकता है? पिन नंबर 16 भी ग्राउंड है और पिन नंबर 17 भी ग्राउंड है, ऐसा हो सकता है? ठीक है, फॉर टाइमिंग वी विल लीव दिस क्वेश्चन। ओके, हम जब आगे पढ़ेंगे दैट टाइम इट विल बी मोर क्लियर. ओके, सिर्फ एक बात याद रखना, अगर राइट करना है मुझे तो डब्ल्यू आर बार शुड बी ग्राउंडेड बिकॉज इट इज डब्ल्यू आर बार, इट इज एक्टिव लो. और अगर मुझे रीड करना है तो आर डी बार पिन शुड बी ग्राउंडेड बिकॉज इट इज एक्टिव लो. Okay, so we have done with the port 3 also, we have done with the port 3 also. Okay, so we have done with port 3. Now which are remaining pin we will see now, which are the remaining pin we will see. Okay, so when you talk about the remaining pin, the pin which are left is, let me see the timing. Okay, it's 12:07. I will go with the, okay, yes, I can go with this pin number 31, EA bar. Can anyone explain me what is EA bar? Pin number 31. External access. External access. External access. Okay. So I'm just reading out. You have to listen to my words. Already I have explained you. Okay. Agar, let me show you because it is there, I think. Uh, okay. Yes. Can you see this? All of you? Are you able to see this? My screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. हाँ, तो मैं फिर से बता रहा हूँ. When your EA bar external access is connected to plus 5 volt या plus VCC, in that case you can access your on chip ROM from the memory address 0000H to 0FFFH. If you want to access above 0FFFH, that means from 1000H to FFFH, you can connect external ROM. You can connect external ROM. Can any one of you tell me what is the size of this? एक्सटर्नल रॉम की साइज कितनी है?
60K.
60K. वेरी गुड. और इसकी साइज कितनी है? 4K. 4K. वेरी गुड. When you are connecting your EA bar to the ground, when you are connecting EA bar to the ground, you can directly access your external ROM starting address 000H to FFFFH. The total size is, the total size is 64. 64. As simple as it is. Okay, as simple as it is. Okay, so this was about your about your EA bar. Okay, so before I stop, okay, before I stop, yes, before I stop, in the next lecture I will be explaining you pin number 30. These are important pins now. जो बचे वो सब important है. Pin number 30, pin number 29, and yes, anything is else left? और कुछ बचा है? Port 1. Which one? Port 1. हाँ, port 1 बचा. हाँ, I think port 1 is बचा है ना. ठीक है. So this is very simple. You can see carefully. You can also give me the statement for port 1. Yes, can any one of you can give me this explanation for port 1? To access data. हाँ, यानी अभी मैंने पोर्ट 0 पर पोर्ट 0 आपको बताया, पोर्ट 2 बताया, पोर्ट 3 बताया. वैसे अगर आप पोर्ट 1 को देखोगे तो यू कैन सिंपली से इट इट सर्व्स एज अ bidirectional 8-bit IO port. It has no dual function. Am I right? It has no dual function. It serves as a bidirectional 8-bit IO port. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So by looking at this picture, you will be able to understand. Yes, that is right. Okay. So we have left only with only two pins. Okay. So pin number 30 and pin number 29 we will be taking in detail in the next lecture. If you have any question, please ask. मनप्रीत अटेंडेंस हो गया क्या?
Yes, sir.
हो गया ना? Okay. I think we can stop for today. If you have any question, please ask me. Others can leave. Others can leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.